Wojak and the ghost of the cancelled fitness app. The evening had arrived, peaceful and quiet, the perfect time to unwind after a long day. For a friend of mine, let's call him Mark, this peace was abruptly interrupted by his own body. He bent down to pick up a dropped pen, and a strange, unfamiliar stiffness seized his lower back. A quiet groan escaped him. He dismissed it at first, a fleeting discomfort. But then, later, climbing the single flight of stairs to his apartment felt less effortless than it used to. His breath hitched slightly. A casual walk to the corner shop left him feeling surprisingly winded. Small, undeniable physical reminders were starting to accumulate, whispering a harsh truth: Mark was getting out of shape. This realization brought with it a familiar companion: regret. His mind immediately jumped back a few months. He remembered that expensive fitness app he had subscribed to. The one with the overly cheerful trainers and the incessant motivational notifications. He'd even used it for a bit, diligently following the routines, feeling a surge of initial progress. But then, it had morphed. The app became a source of pressure, guilt-tripping him when he missed a day, demanding his attention, turning exercise into a chore rather than a joy. He eventually cancelled it, feeling a profound sense of liberation at the time, like he'd escaped a digital tyrant. Now, though, faced with his creaking knees and dwindling stamina, a sharp pang of remorse hit him. Maybe I shouldn't have cancelled it, he thought, a familiar wave of self-recrimination washing over him. It was something. It was a plan. At least I was doing something. Now I have nothing. Just this stiffness and the daunting task of starting from scratch. He pictured the app's sleek interface, the progress charts, the pre-packaged guidance he so desperately lacked now. Honestly, the sheer self-recrimination that can stem from a single stiff knee. It's truly profound. It's like being haunted by the ghost of a forgotten workout, constantly whispering you could have been so much fitter. My friend, Mark, found himself trapped in a loop of what if and if only, all centered around a subscription he'd gleefully ended. He mentally scrolled through the app's features, imagining all the squats he could be doing, the miles he could be running, if only he hadn't clicked that unsubscribe button. The very thought of initiating a new fitness regimen, of finding a new plan, felt overwhelming. It was easier to simply regret the past than to tackle the present. But amidst the swirling regret, a deeper, quieter thought began to surface. He remembered why he cancelled the app. It wasn't just laziness, or a lack of commitment. It was because the app itself became a source of stress. The rigid schedules, the constant push notifications judging his inactivity, the feeling of not being enough when he missed a day, the pre-recorded cheerfulness that felt increasingly sarcastic. It had amplified his anxiety about exercise, rather than his motivation. It had turned self-improvement into a performance. He realized that while he absolutely needed to incorporate more movement into his life, that specific app wasn't the right solution for him. Cancelling it was the right call for his mental well-being, even if his body was now sending him increasingly firm complaints. The problem wasn't the idea of exercise, it was the method he'd chosen. The initial pang of regret began to soften, replaced by a more nuanced understanding. He didn't need that specific app, or any app, to start. He needed to find his own way to incorporate activity, something sustainable, joyful even, that wouldn't trigger the same digital anxieties. He didn't need a perfectly structured program from a screen, he just needed a pair of walking shoes. He decided on a small, achievable, no-pressure step. Tomorrow, he wouldn't sign up for anything. He wouldn't even think about a gym. He would simply take a brisk 15-minute walk around the block after work. Just one, small, personal step. It was about starting small and being kind to himself, free from external pressures. And as Mark, my determined friend, drifted off to sleep that night, the phantom regret of the cancelled app finally faded from his mind. He didn't dream of missed workouts or digital subscriptions. He dreamed of quiet paths, and gentle movement, and the blissful feeling of realizing that true progress often begins not with grand gestures, but with the courage to find your own simple way forward. Sleep now. And may your dreams be refreshingly free of demanding apps, and full of effortless strides.